Sometimes when you run your own business, you will feel like quitting. It happens to all of us. I've been running Mercs now for 7 years, and I'm the only person at Mercs. We sell CrossFit and weightlifting equipment. And I feel like quitting maybe every 6 months. It's really challenging, but at this point, I've kind of accepted that that's part of the job. That's one of the negatives that comes with working for yourself. And I've found it's unavoidable, but you can help how you feel. You can sort of smooth it over, for want of a better phrase. And here is how I do it, how I transition from stuck in a rut in my business to feeling light as a butterfly. The first thing, just take a break. Just have some time off. I am as guilty as anyone for being stuck in the, if I'm not working, nothing's happening. That's how I feel. I'm the only person at Mercs. There is no one else. There is no assistants. There's no funding. This is just an office. It's in my bedroom, my spare bedroom in the house. So when I'm not working, it feels like nothing's happening. But that's not even true. That's not the nature of building an online e-commerce business. If you were a personal trainer, for example, and you weren't with clients, yes, you are not working. But when you run your own business online, it turns out you can have time off, and sometimes nothing happens. There's been days where I've been away to come back to 5 or 10 or 20 emails in my inbox, and you look and you're like, wow, I guess I didn't miss much. No, you won't. Genuinely, you won't. It feels like this wheel never stops turning. But if you're feeling burnt out and you just think, oh, I've had enough, take some time off and come back to it with excitement and enthusiasm, because that seems to work really well for me. You know, a little break gives you a chance to miss what you do, and then you can come back with full steam. Another thing that I do, this is one of the tactics I use a lot, is change what you're doing. This is not necessarily on the grand scale, like giving up on your business, but it's on the small scale when you work for your business. Sometimes I'm sat here, I'm trying to design new adverts to promote products, and some days you just get a mental block. You're looking at the screen thinking, I don't even know where to put what. I get it. That happens a lot. So try doing something else. There is always different, should we say, categories of jobs within a small business. I have a garage downstairs that's got a bit of stock in it. We mainly use a third-party warehouse, but sometimes I've got boxes to send. There's nothing easier than going downstairs, counting products into a box, slapping a label on it, and then dropping it off. That's a different job, but it still comes under the category of work. That is still productive. You're still getting things done. Change what you're doing. Change that intensity. Sometimes trying to design ads that need to be good or they're not going to sell anything. You know, take that pressure off and just do something else. You can come back to it tonight, you can come back to it tomorrow, you can come back to it in a week. Just do something different and just change that sort of stimulus and intensity. This is something I'm implementing at the minute that actually gets me excited. When I run out of steam at Mercs, and that can be towards the end of the day, sometimes it gets to 3 p.m. and I've been working since 8 or 9, and it turns out when you work for yourself, I tend to crack on and get things done. And it's change from work to something that's complementary to work. My focus at the minute, when I'm not directly doing Mercs things and customer support and email and inventory, is to learn Blender. Why Blender? It'll be useful one day because I'll be able to 3D model my own products. Plus, it's fun. Plus, I like 3D printing. You know, that's another little side of things. So, is it work related? Well, not directly, because we don't have a burning desire for Blender models right now, but we might in the future. So do something that is complementary to your work, but it doesn't feel like work. It feels like I'm just playing, I'm just learning, I'm trying new things. Additionally, just learning in general. I find it such a change from output. When you're running your business, you're putting out, you're replying to emails, you're managing the returns, you're ordering inventory. There's a lot comes out when you run your own business. And it's easy to forget that things need to come in. You know, you need to have a good information diet where you are still learning and progressing, because you'll just be better tomorrow, figuratively. And you'll be better in 6 months, and you'll be better in 12 months. And the problems you face today in 12 months will not be problems. You'll skim past them because the skills you've learnt now in the time where you weren't as effective as you could have been doing something else. So yeah, take a break, go and learn something that's somewhat useful to your own business or to your goals, but something that doesn't feel like work. One more thing, when you feel like giving up, everybody feels like this at some point. Go and join some communities with other like-minded people. And that doesn't even mean in person. I don't have anyone around here that's in business or there's any groups or anything where I am. But the internet is magical. Head over to Reddit, reddit.com/r/entrepreneur. Dive into there. Just have a read through. See the other problems that people are facing and how they overcame them. See what's happening. Sometimes, and I'm not a big believer in just looking at other people's success stories because that doesn't help me today. But sometimes you can see a thing, someone's running a small business and then a competitor that was massive came in, offered them $500,000 for their business, and now it's changed their life. Sometimes these little glimmers of hope that come from a real person, you think, wow, that could happen to me. And the more you practice, the luckier you get, which is a strange phrase, but my dad told me that about golf. And it's not the luckier you just get better at it. When you're doing more business and doing more things and with more people, you get into different spheres and different circles and you meet new people and you never know where that'll take you. Worst case, you just get to have a flick through. You know, it might feel unproductive or like you're not working, but that's part of work, right? In the same way that an athlete's recovery is part of training. Because without the recovery, how can you ever get back up to full health to give it another go? And the last thing, just please be aware that running a business is incredibly hard. It is so hard. Genuinely, this is a really tricky task. How many massive big companies have gone out of business? Loads over the last 5, 10, 20 years. And you think that sometimes they're too big to fail. No, they're not. They've got some of the best minds on earth. And next thing they're gone. You know, even brands like BlackBerry. Everybody had a BlackBerry in 2010. I wouldn't know where to buy a BlackBerry anymore. A lot of businesses can come and go in waves. So bear that in mind. You might see people on the internet, the gurus, saying, oh, business is easy. No, business is simple. You buy things for less than you sell them. You sell things for more than you bought them. That's all you do on paper. But just because it's simple doesn't mean it's easy. Okay? So please bear that in mind. Even going through all this, just forget that you are above 99% of people just for making a start. Just for doing what you are doing. Most people don't do any more than they have to. So the fact that you're starting a business, running a business, even watching a video about business, it's exciting to me. Genuinely. Because I remember how excited I were when I was learning these things. And now I've been running Mergs for 2.5 years. And it still feels weird. Genuinely, I still haven't shaken the feeling of I work for me. It's magical. I worked for 5 years with Mergs being a part-time income. That was it. For the first 3 years, I don't even think it paid me. And my first goal was for it to pay for a car payment, so I was aiming for £200 a month. That was it. Now it pays a full-time wage, and I own my own time. I could be anywhere at any time, any day, and it's shocking. So do not quit. It is worth it. I've wanted to quit 1,000,000 times, but you only fail when you quit. So just keep going, change what you're doing, and you'll get there in the end.